Hi, I'm Max.
And I'm Skylar.
Recently, we decided to start watching Bob's Burgers to see what it was all about.
And it didn't take us long to become completely obsessed with the show.
But one of the things we love the most about the show is the brilliant end credit sequences.
Which is why we created this podcast.
Each week, we're going episode by episode to talk about the elaborate end credits.
We're excited to have you join us right here on Bob's Credits.
We'll make sure the Bob's Burgers end credits get the credit they're due.
All right!
Okay, I have to count this on my fingers, so just ignore my hands.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, no, that's a good one. We'll do that one in the future. Psycho killer. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Chip, 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 chip-a-roo. I think I got it right.
I love it. And it's, for us, it's spooky season right now.
Spooky season. This was an outtake from Teen Witch, where we ended up doing Werewolves of London.
Yes,
was the song.
That's right.
But Psycho Killer was second.
Well, I loved that, and I appreciated the counting on your fingers.
Thank you. I still don't know if I got it right with as far as how many fa better.
I think you did it.
Okay.
It was great.
All right.
A+.
That song pops up. I feel like it doesn't pop up enough in like Psycho Killer movies. Is it too on the nose?
Oh, you know what might have been fun? You know that horror movie Fresh that we just watched?
Yeah.
That's like the tone of a movie that could handle it.
Yeah. The scene where, what's his name? Sebastian Stan and Daisy Edgar Jones like dance. Maybe they could dance to Psycho Killer.
I would be like, this is too on the nose. Or like they do what, there was this big trend in like psychological thrillers and stuff where they would just take a song and like slow it down and make it eerie. It'd be like, Psycho Killer.
Oh, yeah. You know, like a slow motion,
say.
especially in the trailers.
Yes.
Which
they love that.
There has to be a version of that song in slow motion in some kind of horror Psycho Killer movie.
You know what? I'd be here for it. I like it.
I'm going to track one down. Chip chipperoo, everyone. We've already gone on a tangent. Skylar and I should probably host a horror podcast of some sort because we watch a lot of it.
We need an angle.
We need an angle. We don't want to just do what everyone else does. Not that we don't enjoy those. And we think I listen to plenty of them. But we're not here to talk about horror movies. We are here to talk about Bob's Burgers. More specifically, the end credit sequence to Bob's Burgers. But we talk about everything Bob's Burgers related.
We sure do.
Before we get into the Bob's Burgers stuff, though, we have some new patrons to thank, and we have to burger pun their names, Skylar.
Let's do it.
First up, we have Amy Jo Smith.
I love that name.
Amy Jo Smith, moving forward, you will be known as, you have to say it as like a little kid.
Okay. I already love this.
Yeah. Amy Jo Smith, a meat dough bith of bacon burger.
Bits of bacon.
Yeah, bits of bacon. It has bits of bacon in it. Because it's a little kid asking for the bits of bacon.
I don't know what this is, but I love it. It has all my favorite things in it.
There you go. There you have it, Amy Jo. Next up, we have Alice Whittle.
Another great name.
Just two great back-to-backers.
Yep.
Alice Whittle, moving forward, you'll be known as the Alice Cinnamon Brittle Burger. It's a dessert burger.
Ooh.
We've had a dessert burger before. This is another dessert burger. Sometimes you don't want a savory burger. Sometimes you want something a little sweet.
It's true. I feel like that would be like a food trend like 7 years ago.
Probably. Let's say you were at Wonder Wharf and you forgot to get yourself a funnel cake. Pop into Bob's Burgers and get the Alice Cinnamon Brittle Burger.
You know what else you could do for Alice? If we're on the theme of little kids, she could have an Alice Whittle burger.
Oh, I love it. I should have done all little kids' burgers. Thank you to the two of you. We're so excited to have you joining us on Patreon. If you would like your name burger punned on the podcast right here, you got to sign up for Patreon, subscribe to the tier.
$5 tier for that.
$5 tier to have your name burger punned on the show. Patreon is probably the best way to support this podcast and what we do on this main feed. Skylar and I work very, very, very hard on it. Don't get us wrong. We love doing it. We love doing it for you. We love doing it for us. We have so much fun, but it quote unquote keeps the lights on.
Yes.
For the podcast.
Absolutely.
And the best part is that you get a bunch of stuff while supporting the podcast.
You get a bunch of content. And here's the other thing. Max and I had a really great Patreon meeting and what we wanted it to look like moving forward, and something that's going to be very important to us as we've restructured the new tiers is not only giving you extra content, but making this a community-based subscription. So Bob's is so heartfelt and community-based, and the fans are. So we're going to be doing live streaming, live discussions, live trivia. The Discord is always popping. What has organically happened is a little family has grown on our Discord, and we're taking that further with our relaunch of our Patreon.
Absolutely. Well said. I couldn't have said it better myself. If we are going super heavy on this promotion for the Patreon, you know why now? Because this is what keeps us going on the main feed. So we have to promo it. We hope to see more of you over there. We really have a lot of fun over there. But that's enough.
That's enough.
That's enough of that.
A good episode. I have a great Skylar side this week.
Dish it, girl.
Oh, we're doing it?
Well, you
now?
said it. You said it. You triggered my quote.
All right. I have an answer to one of the fiercest fan questions. Will we ever get to see Ginger?
Oh.
At the end of May of this year, so I think the interview with Lauren Bouchard was May 25th, 2022. Lauren Bouchard answered this question in an interview. First of all, he lovingly said, and I'm paraphrasing, y'all, this is your fault. It is your fault that you haven't seen Ginger, because the more you question it, the more you talk about it, the more we want to hold back. It's like so fun for us to hold back. So he was a little bit cheeky there, but then he said that if they ever found the right actor and the right story, they will show Ginger. But more likely, we're gonna maybe see some episodes, and like maybe you think you're gonna see her at the end of the episode, and then they're gonna pull back. Stuff like that. Nora Smith also interjected that she also thinks the fans' imagination of who she is, where she lives in this world, what her personality like is maybe better than what they could write.
True. I feel like you're not going to satisfy everyone after the build up, no matter how like great the story is or the character voice is. The mystery is so fun, and it's part of like it's a part of the show. It's a running gag. It's funny, and I don't think we really want to meet Ginger.
I think we want to.
People say they do,
but the curiosity is so much better than the reveal, I think.
I agree.
I'm cool with Linda just like giving Ginger updates about Little King Trashmouth over the phone.
Yeah, maybe the final episode of Bob's. I don't even want to say that, and my heart just broke.
Oh my gosh,
But maybe that's where we get a little reveal.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm Ginger.
You?
No, not me. It's like
it was
Jennifer,
Jean all along.
Jennifer Coolidge is the voice.
Well, you just cracked the freaking case.
Has she done a voice on Bob? She needs to do a voice.
She needs to. Oh my God, her Emmy speech.
But her stock is only rising. Yeah.
Up. And she is going to be in the second season of White Lotus.
Yeah.
So it's going to keep rising.
Wow, that's some great information, Skylar. Thank you.
You're so humbly welcome.
All right, are you ready to play a little Bob Pun or Max Pun?
I'm ready.
We are taking it back to the original.
Yes.
We are doing burger puns this week. Your first pun is the Little Sprouts on the Prairie burger.
Bob's?
Yes. Your next pun is Spider-Man No Way Home burger. Way is spelled W-H-E-Y.
You?
Yes. Your next pun is, you're the bun that I want.
Max.
Yes. Is she going to go? 4 for 4 this week, folks.
Don't jinx it.
The chevre little thing she does is magic burger.
Bob.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, is that 2 weeks in a row? I can't remember.
I think there's a week in between.
Anyway, we should get in this episode, don't you think?
That's a good one, though. Like,
I love it.
That's one of my favorites.
I love it. Should we get in this episode?
Yes.
Skylar, can we have the title and synopsis for Season 7, Episode 4, please? 4! Little Linda.
We've been watching too many horror films. We're going to Horror Nights this year, our first time ever.
We are. Skylar and I are going to Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights.
If I just screamed at you shouting a funny Linda line.
Yeah, this is going to be a disaster.
All right, here we go. They serve horses, don't they? Bob tries to save money by using Jimmy's meat guy. It is cheaper, but it's also horse meat, much to Tina's absolute horror. Bob will bypass consequences for selling horse meat if he goes on a sting for Hugo to take Jack, the dirty, rotten horse killer, down.
This episode came out on November 6th, 2016. It was written by Stephen Davis and Kelvin Yu and directed by Tyree Dillahay. Let me start right away with the title of this episode.
Yes, please.
Because you turned to me when we were watching it yesterday and said, what is that title referencing? And I said, I will tell you tomorrow.
And then what did I say?
Bith the Bacon. That's your
little bit of bacon.
Oh, little bit of bacon when you're upset with me.
I said, they shoot Gilmores, don't they?
Yeah, it's a Gilmore Girls title.
It is?
No. The Gilmore Girls is also taking it from this movie, apparently.
Yeah, so I was able to identify an overlap in Bob's Burgers and Gilmore Girls, but I still don't know the original source.
So the title is reference to a movie from 1969, which was based on a 1935 novel called They Shoot Horses, Don't They? It starred Jane Fonda and was directed by Sidney Pollack. Any guesses what the movie's about?
Has nothing to do with horses.
You're correct.
Okay.
This is the IMDb synopsis.
Okay.
The lives of a disparate group of contestants intertwine in an inhumanely grueling dance marathon.
This is so Jane Fonda, like I can't even.
The only thing I can think of is that it's like when a horse is injured,
yes,
they shoot them.
I like metaphorical titles. I'm all down for it.
I assume that's where the connection is. Anyway, that's what the title is referencing.
I'm so glad I know that now.
Tell me about this episode. Tell me your thoughts, your feelings about this episode.
There are some moments that I just adore in this episode so much. Is it my favorite plot? No, but this is such a solid episode. I have some things I've written down that I love from this episode that I want to share, but it's not a top 10 for me.
Oh, no, definitely.
What about you?
Yeah, I struggle, and I've said this before, we've said this before with Hugo. It's too much Hugo in this episode for me. He bothers me. He's very annoying.
As he's meant to be, but he has a lot of screen time.
Yeah.
However, when he's not on screen, Bob is hysterical in this episode.
Yeah, Bob is great. Bob trying to be undercover is hilarious. Jack Conway is great. Like, I love that character. Any guesses who does the voice for Jack
I feel
Conway?
Like it's one of these, what's that city, the improv, Second City guys that are friends with everyone.
Yes, absolutely. I thought you would get his voice because it's very specific, but he's in two of our favorite comedies of all time. Oh. Really? Or that we've rewatched over and over again?
I do have a guess.
Okay.
Holly's boyfriend on The Office.
Oh, no, that's good.
That Rob Hubel.
Guess. Yeah, Rob Hubel, who's done a bunch of voices on this show. That's a good guess. It's Ken Marino, who is in Party Down and the other two. He's hilarious.
Oh, he's the manager in the other two?
He's the kids manager in the other two, and he's the boss in Party Down.
He is everything.
So funny.
Such an underrated actor.
Yeah, and always funny in anything he's in, and great in this character too. I also appreciated that his company in this show is called Nice to Meet You.
Okay.
MEAT.
Okay, I have 2 follow-up things to say to this.
Okay, come meet our family.
Come meet our family.
Let us meet you.
That should be our Patreon entrance song.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you just said, let us meet you. I love that. And I did not catch that when we were watching it. But did you catch that their proper meat seller or meat distributor is named Dimitri?
No.
Dimitri?
Yeah. That's great.
they don't make it obvious, but I was just like, of all the names you could choose for a meat delivery guy.
Yeah.
Dimitri. And while we're on Jack, the character of Jack, the ska music moment, just the fact that he picked, like, that the writers picked ska music as the genre of music that he's going to, like, threaten Bob to tune out the recording with. I mean, I think I just laughed out loud.
It's so fun. It says so much about him as a person to, like, his go-to, or that he has ska albums to just pull out right away. Were you into ska when ska was a thing?
I think I was a little too young. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I went through the big ska phase.
Is that Max and I have been watching so many documentaries on the 1999 Woodstock.
Yeah.
Was that kind of that era?
No, that was after, I think. Ska was a little bit before. It was a little bit happier, and then it got, like, music got angry.
Oh, well, if you are into music, go watch any documentary about 1990.
The 99 Woodstock. Oh my God. That was a disaster.
Moly.
Yeah. I think there's one on Netflix. There's one on Hulu or HBO Max.
I think it's HBO Max.
But the Netflix one was really good.
Yeah. So no, I did not go through a ska phase. I'm a little too young.
Oh man.
Although y'all, I'm 32, and someone asked me my age the other day. And she said, "Oh my God, you look good." Like, as in, you look good for your age. And it's the first time that's ever happened to me.
It's starting.
And as a woman, I feel like this is my life from now on. I feel okay. Anyway,
you do look good. I'll tell you that. So we're talking about all these different, like, meat puns and these titles and stuff. This episode, I noticed this as we were watching it, because there's so many moments where so many different days where Jack's coming in and delivering the meat.
Yes.
It has so many burgers of the days in this episode.
Max, and I particularly, not only are there a lot of burgers of the day in this episode, I particularly wrote down how good they are. I have 2 that I love, but I have a feeling you're going to list them for us.
Oh, I don't have them listed. I was just saying there's 7 total, and that's the most we see in any episode of Bob's up to this point.
I was noticing it, and I was trying to keep up with them because the first one at the beginning of the episode is so good, and then one of my favorite films was used, so I didn't catch them all. Maybe I'll go back and do that. But my 2 favorite were Do Fry for Me, Argentina. I did not go through a ska phase, but I went through a big Evita phase in high school. So I loved that.
You know what's funny is I feel like I've done fry burgers before and burger puns, and you're like, they never do fry. Like, there's never a fry.
This isn't French fry. This is fry the technique.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe I was misunderstanding.
Yeah, you were.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm very hurt.
Okay. My second favorite.
I think I meant French fries.
I was so genuine in my apology for misunderstanding you. My second favorite, A Moment of Silence for Fall and for Nora Ephron. Thank you. When Harry Met Salami.
Yeah, I think I've done that in our burger puns at some point.
It's so good.
It's such a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else about this episode? What else do we want to talk about? We've got the sting. We've got Jack Conway. We've got the family getting to go do some slip and sliding, which we'll get into, obviously.
Yes.
Spoiler alert for the end credits.
I have a few random facts. One, the fact that they use sweet and sour sauce to shave Bob. I found that hysterical.
And disgusting. And it comes off way too easily.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Ron is able to wipe it off pretty easily. And I think it would be all stuck in
it would be horrible.
The parts of the hair that didn't shave. Yeah.
Disgusting. Tina. We have to talk about Tina in this episode because she gets to play a different kind of character. She gets to play outraged and upset, and she will not let Bob back down. She is so furious about the horses. The moment when they're at the restaurant and she realizes it's horse meat, her like reaction that they stay on for a long time is hysterical.
It reminds me of in the movie when they're, spoiler alert if you don't want, this is not like a plot, it's just a gag, but if you haven't seen it, just hit that like 10-second forward button right now when they're crashing through all the horse carousel things and she's freaking out. I
loved that. That was a highlight for me in the movie for sure. I think Louise and Jean are fantastic, particularly in the second half of this episode. Louise and all her cop jargon is hysterical. Like, not cop jargon, but like a detective movie kind of jargon when she goes, "You getting sweet on this boy?" When Bob like wants to back out.
Oh, that is such a good line.
I cackled.
Yeah.
I cackled.
It's one of my favorite Louise Christian Shaw deliveries. It's so funny.
It's just truly amazing.
Should we just play that
real
quick?
To.
Okay, but just that one line.
Doesn't feel great being at a guy's house to sting him on his birthday.
Dad, you getting sweet on this boy?
Louise.
It's so funny.
Do I love the guacamole bowl?
Oh, yeah.
And Jean committing to the guacamole bowl like it's a marriage ceremony? Yes.
Yeah, he's just in character.
He's like, it's for the gig, man.
Yeah.
Linda's great at the slip and slide party.
With her wine, her giant glass of...
And I do think, like, there's a slip and slide here, and you're like, you know there's going to be a grand finale to this episode, and that slip and slide is going to be part of it.
There's a double grand finale, technically, with the slip and slide.
Yep.
Do we want to get into the end credits? Is there anything else you want to talk about since we're talking slip and slide? Okay, so the last moment before the end credits is Jack is coming to the restaurant. He's kind of apologizing and also at the same time announcing that he's writing a book. Which,
by the way, we're huge Friday Night Light fans in this house.
Yes.
So I appreciated this moment
we've spoken
a lot.
about it on here before, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that show.
It's a movie and a TV show. You've never heard of it?
Yeah, I have heard of it.
He's not really a football fan.
No, I like football. I just don't know why you would call it Friday Night Meats. That's good.
I get it. Chapter 1. It was a Friday night, and I was selling meats. Horse meats. It was Friday Night Meats.
That's good.
Oh, my God.
Here comes the meat plane right to the counter.
So we get that last moment, and immediately we get some ska for the end credits.
We have 2 running gags put together for this song.
Tell me.
Okay, so we have the ska, which we've already talked about, to the lyrics of this running gag
song
in the episode when Jack comes to deliver the meat, which is here comes the... Do you have the lyrics?
Here comes the meat plane right to your counter. Ooh.
Which is... The scenes are particularly great because Bob and Linda are acting horribly.
Yeah. It's so funny because I feel like these are lyrics that you would hear in a ska song anyway. Like,
really?
Yeah. It's such a perfect fit to ska music.
I'll trust you.
What do we see on the screen for these end credits as this music's playing?
We see the yard where the slip and slide birthday party was. And we see in black and white the yard, and then in full color, horizontal across the screen, we have the orange slip and slide with water spewing out. Like, good slip and slide setup.
Oh, yeah. It's great.
This is like a top-notch slip and slide.
Yeah, and like you said, we've had this before where the end credits are split now with the animations on top and the credits are on the bottom rather than side by side like they normally are with the kitchen sequence. And we get Jean slipping all the way across from screen left to right, followed immediately by Louise. I want to point out that obviously she has her ears on, even though they're going to get wet.
The way they're flying in the air, like flapping in the air as she slides, is so satisfying. The animation is so satisfying. She's also doing like a swim move, like she's pretending to swim with her arms, which is adorable.
So cute. I can't even think of the last time I slipped and slided.
Yeah, I loved it.
Slip and slided, but I could go for some slip and sliding right now.
You know what I don't think will age well is the grass stuck to your wet body.
Oh, yeah. When you get to the end and you can like skim into the grass, that's not fun.
Yeah.
You got to get the one that has like the pool at the end that you
okay,
end up
rich
in.
kid. We just slid straight into the mud.
Not an actual pool. It has like it's an inflatable little pool at the end.
I've never seen those.
Oh, okay.
That's smart though. But
Yeah.
you still have to step out and like.
Sure, yeah, it's not fun.
Gross,
it's
yeah.
stuff you don't care about as a kid, but as an adult, it bothers you. Let's see who's going to slip and slide next here.
Okay.
Here comes the meat plane right to your cannon. Again.
Jack attack. Hugh Jackman.
Tell me, you're
Oh,
look excited.
Tina is on her knees sliding, and it's just so stiff, but also glorious, and it's just so Tina.
Her hands are back, kind of like how her hands are when she runs.
Yeah, it's so good. And then, of course, we get Jimmy Jr. right after, and I particularly love his slide because it's bringing me back to the end credits of
The Belchers?
the Belchers. He does this epic knee slide. Jimmy is a dancer wherever he goes, Jimmy Jr., but I love it particularly because he has all that sunscreen over his body, which was a very funny scene in the episode. Tina was trying to focus on the sting, got distracted by Jimmy Jr. lotioning himself up.
Who is burnt to a crisp from his
What did
vacation
his
with
dad
his
call
father.
Did he say it looked like a
I don't remember.
wiener?
He did? I don't remember that.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
No, he said like a dog's wiener or something like
He
that.
does.
Right? Yeah, you're
Like,
right.
What does that even
Like
mean?
doggy lipstick.
Oh.
You know, when dogs get excited,
Yes.
it's very red.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand.
Okay. So I paused it, but following Jimmy Jr., we get Bob in his shirt and shorts. He kept his shoes on too.
Are those his socks or shoes?
I think they're his shoes. He has very cute, like, kind of like ankle shoes.
I have to point out that I don't know why, but I love this outfit Bob has decided to wear. It's like this olive green shirt and gray shorts and little sneakers. And I'm just like, oh, out of the kitchen, Bob.
I love it too. And he is going on his stomach
Look at that smile.
right across. He's having a blast.
Now, you guys like the song the most out of anyone I sing it to.
Here comes Jack.
I figured I'd let it play a little bit, but we get, after Bob, we get Jack's son.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember his name.
I don't even know that they had a
I think they
name for
say
him.
his name.
Oh, okay.
But I don't, but he's supposedly really good at slip and slide. So he's standing up and doing all his
Yeah,
like
he's
cool,
the kid that owns a slip and slide.
Yeah, I hate that kid. Followed by Linda, who slides on her butt, sitting up with her giant glass of wine the entire time.
How is that sitting? Like as if you're posing for a painting or something.
Yeah. I don't know how she got a running start and got into that position with the glass, but she's an expert apparently.
Imagine if she just like ran and got in her position. She's like, now the wine, hand it to me.
Oh, I would love to see the setup for that. She's followed by Jack himself.
Who has taken off his shirt.
Yes, and he is on his stomach as well. That seems to be the go-to dad move.
Yeah, that feels right. I only went on my stomach as a child.
Well, you never went like on your butt or on your back or anything?
Mm-mm.
Oh, let's see. Maybe we need a slip and slide.
Yeah.
We're going to get two more at the end here.
Walking through your doorway.
Jack! Hi! What a surprise!
Tell us what happened at the end there.
So Hugo slides, but he doesn't get enough momentum and just like putters out in the center of the slip and slide, which is the most Hugo thing ever.
He's on his stomach.
Yes. And then...
Followed by Ron, who is sitting upright, kind of like Linda, and he is responsible. He's crashing into Hugo and pushes Hugo along, kind of.
I just feel so bad for Ron.
Me too.
I just don't like Hugo.
I love the episode. Is it Best Burger where we get to see him without Hugo on his day off and stuff? Oh, he's just living his life. I love Solo Ron. One thing I want to point out here is that Hugo and Ron's swim trunks match the colors of their respective ties.
Cute. Also, Max and I just recorded an episode for Patreon, which are these commentaries, and we did a commentary on the demo. And something I noticed is that, one, both Hugo and Ron are in the demo that they pitched to Fox.
Original demo, yeah.
Their ties are they're almost cut like clown ties. They're like huge.
It's like a Trump tie.
At the bottom.
Yeah.
It's like this very weird cut. And I noticed in this episode, because we recorded that yesterday, that they still kept the really weird cut of the ties. It's just like they're clearly outdated, which makes you like annoyed with Hugo even more.
Yeah, but love Ron even more.
Yeah.
Highlights, lowlights.
Linda was a great chuckle. I love seeing the kids do kids thing. I love seeing Bob do kids things and smile.
Me too.
You know?
It's so nice to see the family having so much fun together. And I think my low light is that these credits aren't longer and I don't get to see more characters slide across the screen because it's so satisfying.
Who else would we see?
I would love to see any of the characters from Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, you mean like from the town?
Sliding. Yeah. If these end credits, like if this was the end credits for the movie where you had more time and you just kept like showing the characters sliding through, it'd be great.
I love that. I would
all
watch
the different.
that.
Yeah.
Another highlight for me is the ska music. As I said, I found that really funny in the episode, so I'm glad to see it again.
Me too. And the way it just like syncs up to those lyrics.
Yeah.
It's great. I think my little is that I wish they didn't put the talking over it. I don't think we needed the talking.
I don't think we needed it.
Yeah. Maybe that's like a little low light for me. Like
it's
we don't need,
distracting.
I like it being an
almost.
actual song.
Yeah.
So maybe they could have tossed in some, a new verse to go with this.
Oh, see, that would have been like a chef's kiss.
Yeah. And they could have gotten Ken Marino to do some vocals.
Yeah, I love it.
He would work as a ska lead singer.
Oh, in some sitcom.
Oh
my God.
It's like a retired or like an ex ska singer who's like living the glory days of his ska.
Can't let it
his
go.
ska band's career from
All right.
we
pitched another show.
There you go. Should we score them?
Yeah, let's score them.
Okay. We score on a scale of 1 to 10 H's at the end of Tina's Who wants to go first here?
I do have my number locked in.
Then why don't you go first?
7.5.
7.5. Okay.
What's yours?
I think I'm going to give him a 9.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Like, I really like the music. I think it's so fun. I think I like these end credits more than the episode itself, which we've
Interesting.
said. Yeah. And I love seeing all the characters get to slide through and their different,
It is like a really joyous moment. Okay, I'm going to go 8.
Okay. I love that you can tell a character's personality by how they slide almost.
Oh, yes.
And that's great to
Bob
me.
does it so well.
Yeah. So I'm giving it a 9. I really like the music. And I take it down for having them talk. I take it down for not giving me more characters sliding, but that's not their fault. But there you go.
You're like, I wanted an hour-long credit sequence.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Is that so much to ask? So those are the end credits to They Serve Horses, don't they? Thank you, everyone, for listening. Go follow us on all of the social medias at Bob's Credits. You can follow me personally on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Oh Hello It's Max. You can follow Skylar on Instagram. She's at No Crying and Cooking. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Just check out our Patreon, which is patreon.com/Bob's Credits, and stay slip and slidey.
Oh, you were ready for that one.
Yeah, you called me out the other day.
Let's go practice our horns so we can start a ska band.
Oh.